Hello, wonderful listeners, and welcome back to BookMint, the podcast where we distill the wisdom of the world's most transformative books into actionable insights for your life. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into a book that has revolutionized parenting for countless families, No Drama Discipline, the whole brain way to calm the chaos and nurture your child's developing mind by Dr. Daniel J. Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson. Before we jump into this incredible journey of understanding our children's brains and transforming our disciplinary approaches, please take a moment to hit that like button, share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and if you haven't already, subscribe to BookMint so you don't miss out on our future explorations of literary gold. Your support helps us bring more valuable content to you. Now, let's talk about No Drama Discipline. Have you ever found yourself in a power struggle with your child, feeling frustrated, exhausted, and unsure if you're doing more harm than good? If so, you're definitely not alone. Dr. Siegel, a clinical professor of psychiatric, and Tina Payne Bryson, a pediatric and adolescent psychotherapist, bring together neuroscience and practical parenting strategies to offer a refreshing and highly effective alternative to traditional discipline. This isn't about being permissive or letting your kids run wild. It's about understanding the science behind your child's behavior and responding in a way that promotes connection, growth, and long-term development, rather than just immediate compliance. The core premise is brilliant. Discipline should be about teaching, not punishing. It's about helping children develop self-control, empathy, and problem-solving skills, all while strengthening your relationship with them. Throughout this summary, we'll explore how to achieve this no-drama approach, focusing on two key goals: connecting with your child emotionally and then redirecting their behavior effectively. We'll break down the author's insights chapter by chapter, providing you with a comprehensive understanding of their whole brain approach. So, lean in, take notes, and get ready to transform your parenting experience.
Chapter 1. Discipline. The goal is to teach. In the opening chapter, Siegel and Bryson immediately challenge our preconceived notions of discipline. They argue that the very word discipline often evokes images of punishment, timeouts, and stern lectures. However, the true root of the word discipline comes from the Latin disciplina, meaning to teach. This reframe is foundational to the entire book. The authors assert that the primary goal of discipline is not to make children suffer for their mistakes, nor is it merely to stop undesirable behavior in the short term. Instead, it's about fostering internal growth, teaching essential life skills, and helping children develop a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. They introduce the concept of whole brain parenting, which emphasizes understanding the developing brain of a child. A child's brain is not a miniature adult brain. It's still very much under construction. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for impulse control, decision-making, and understanding consequences, is one of the last areas to fully develop. This scientific understanding is crucial because it helps parents realize that many challenging behaviors are not intentional acts of defiance, but rather manifestations of an immature brain trying to cope with big emotions or navigate complex social situations. The authors also distinguish between two fundamental goals of discipline: stop the behavior. This is the immediate, short-term goal when a child is doing something unsafe or inappropriate. Teach a lesson. This is the long-term developmental goal, helping the child learn self-control, empathy, problem-solving, and how to make better choices in the future. Often, parents get stuck on the first goal, resorting to punitive measures that might stop the behavior momentarily, but fail to achieve the deeper teaching objective. Siegel and Bryson argue that effective discipline simultaneously addresses both goals by focusing on connection before redirection. When a child feels connected and understood, their brain is more receptive to learning. Punishment, on the other hand, can trigger a fight, flight, or freeze response, shutting down the child's ability to learn and instead fostering resentment or fear. This initial chapter sets the stage for a paradigm shift, urging parents to move beyond conventional disciplinary tactics and embrace a more empathetic, brain-informed approach. Chapter 2: The Two Goals of Discipline: Stopping the Bad and Teaching the Good. Building on the foundation laid in Chapter 1, this chapter delves deeper into the two essential goals of discipline: immediately stopping unwanted behavior and, more importantly, teaching valuable life lessons for future self-regulation. Siegel and Bryson emphasize that truly effective discipline doesn't just halt a misbehavior, it uses that moment as an opportunity for growth and learning. They introduce a critical distinction between punishment and discipline. Punishment, they explain, often involves inflicting pain, shame, or fear with the aim of forcing compliance. While it might produce immediate results, it rarely teaches children how to understand their actions, manage their emotions, or develop internal moral compasses. In fact, punishment can often damage the parent-child relationship, leading to resentment, secrecy, or a focus on avoiding getting caught rather than understanding why certain behaviors are problematic. Discipline, conversely, is framed as a proactive and reactive teaching process. Proactive discipline involves setting clear expectations, teaching skills beforehand, and creating an environment where good behavior is naturally encouraged. Reactive discipline, which is the focus of most of the book, is what happens in the moment of misbehavior. Here, the authors stress that effective reactive discipline always has a teaching component. It helps children understand the impact of their actions, learn alternative ways to handle difficult emotions, and develop crucial skills like empathy and problem solving. The authors outline the connect and redirect approach, which is the cornerstone of their methodology. This approach posits that before a parent can effectively redirect a child's behavior and teach them a lesson, they must first connect with the child emotionally. When a child is upset, angry, or frustrated, their upstairs brain, the part responsible for logic, reason, and self-control, is often offline. Their downstairs brain, which handles basic functions and intense emotions, takes over. Trying to reason with a child in this highly emotional state is often futile. Connecting means acknowledging the child's feelings, validating their experience, and helping them feel understood and safe. It might involve a hug, a calm tone of voice, making eye contact, or simply saying, "I can see you're really angry right now." Once the child feels heard and their emotional brain begins to calm down, their upstairs brain starts to come back online, making them receptive to redirection and learning. Redirection then involves guiding the child towards more appropriate behavior, explaining consequences, setting limits, and discussing better choices for the future. This sequence, connect and then redirect, is crucial because it leverages the child's neurological state to maximize the effectiveness of the disciplinary moment, turning potential conflicts into genuine teaching and strengthened relationships. Chapter 3: Connecting: From Tantrum to Teachable Moment. Chapter 3 dives deep into the connect phase of the connect and redirect strategy, providing practical insights and techniques for transforming chaotic moments into valuable teachable opportunities. The authors emphasize that a child in the throes of a tantrum, defiance, or intense emotion is not intentionally trying to be difficult. Rather, their downstairs brain, the limbic system and brainstem, responsible for basic functions and strong emotions like fear and anger, has taken over, effectively shutting down their upstairs brain, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic, reasoning, and impulse control. Trying to reason, lecture, or punish a child in this state is not only ineffective, but can also escalate the situation and damage the parent-child bond. The primary goal of connecting is to help the child shift from a reactive, downstairs brain state to a more receptive, upstairs brain state. This requires parents to engage with empathy and understanding, helping the child feel safe and heard. The authors offer several strategies for connecting. Tune in and validate. This involves actively listening to your child, observing their nonverbal cues, and acknowledging their feelings. Phrases like, "I can see you're really frustrated right now," or "It looks like you're feeling very angry about that," can go a long way. Validation doesn't mean agreeing with the behavior, but rather acknowledging the underlying emotion. Nonverbal communication. Your tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language are powerful tools. Approaching your child calmly, making eye contact, if appropriate and not overwhelming, and even offering a comforting touch can help regulate their nervous system. Offer comfort and reassurance. Sometimes a simple hug or a soothing presence is what a child needs most to calm down. The goal is to co-regulate with them, helping their system move out of a state of distress. Name it to tame it. Help your child label their emotions. You're feeling really mad because your block tower fell down. Giving a name to the feeling helps the child begin to understand and process it, engaging their upstairs brain. This is a crucial step in developing emotional intelligence. Look beneath the behavior. Children often act out because they lack the words or skills to express their needs or feelings. A parent's job is to play detective, trying to understand what might be truly driving the behavior. Is the child tired, hungry, overwhelmed, seeking attention, or feeling insecure? The authors highlight the concept of a child feeling felt. When a child feels truly understood and supported, their brain releases neurochemicals that promote connection and calm, making them much more receptive to learning and redirection. They liken it to joining a child in their emotional storm rather than trying to pull them out by force. Once the storm begins to subside and the child feels connected, the pathway for the upstairs brain to come back online is cleared, setting the stage for effective redirection and transforming moments of discord into genuine connection and growth.
Chapter 4. Redirecting. From Reaction to Revelation. After successfully connecting with a child and helping them move from an emotional downstairs brain state to a more receptive upstairs brain state, Chapter 4 shifts focus to the redirect phase. This is where the actual teaching and guidance occur, turning the disciplinary moment into a revelation, a chance for the child to learn and grow. The authors emphasize that redirection is not about lecturing or shaming, but about empowering the child with understanding, skills, and better choices for the future. Just as with connecting, there are several key strategies for effective redirection. Explain why, not just what. Instead of simply stating, "Don't do that," explain why the behavior is problematic. Hitting hurts others' bodies and feelings. This helps children understand the impact of their actions and develop empathy. The why also appeals to their developing logical brain, fostering true understanding rather than mere compliance. Shift to the upstairs brain. Once connected, the child is ready for logical discussion. Engage them by asking questions. What could you do differently next time? Or how do you think the other person felt when that happened? This encourages problem-solving and critical thinking rather than simply dictating solutions. Turn a no into a yes. Instead of just prohibiting a behavior, offer acceptable alternatives. If a child is throwing a ball inside, instead of just saying no throwing, you could say, you can't throw the ball inside, but you can throw it outside or throw these soft bean bags in here. This teaches appropriate boundaries and alternative actions. Involve the child in discipline. When possible, include the child in deciding on a logical consequence or solution. What do you think would be a fair way to fix this? Or what do we need to do to make this right? This empowers them, fosters a sense of responsibility, and makes them more likely to adhere to the outcome. Focus on repair. Discipline should often involve repairing any harm done, whether physical or emotional. If a child broke a toy, they could help fix it or earn money to replace it. If they hurt someone's feelings, they could offer a genuine apology and perhaps draw a picture or do a kindness. This teaches accountability and empathy. Teach new skills. Misbehavior often stems from a lack of skills, emotional regulation, conflict resolution, or communication. Use the disciplinary moment to explicitly teach these skills. Next time you feel really angry, instead of yelling, you can take 3 deep breaths or tell me what's bothering you. Emphasize mind sight. Siegel's concept of mind sight involves helping children develop an understanding of their own internal experiences, thoughts, feelings, sensations, and the internal experiences of others. This is crucial for empathy and self-awareness. Discussing feelings and perspectives during redirection helps cultivate this. Be consistent but not rigid. Consistency in limits and expectations provides children with a sense of security and predictability. However, consistency doesn't mean rigidity. Parents can be flexible based on the context, the child's developmental stage, and their emotional state, while still upholding core values. The authors reiterate that redirection is most effective when it stems from a place of connection and warmth. It's about being firm but kind, holding boundaries while nurturing the child's spirit. By guiding children through these steps, parents not only stop misbehavior, but also equip their children with the internal resources and skills they need to navigate challenges, make responsible choices, and thrive. This chapter provides the actionable blueprint for transforming difficult moments into profound learning experiences for both parent and child.
Chapter 5. The What, Why, and How of Whole Brain Discipline. Chapter 5 consolidates the principles of no-drama discipline by providing a comprehensive overview of the what, why, and how of the whole brain approach. It serves as a synthesis, bringing together the neurological insights and practical strategies discussed in previous chapters to offer a clear framework for parents. The what, the core principles. The what of whole brain discipline revolves around 2 fundamental tenets. Discipline as teaching, reaffirming the idea that discipline's true purpose is to instruct, guide, and help children learn rather than simply punish or control. The connect and redirect approach. This is the central strategy, emphasizing that connecting emotionally with a child first, addressing their downstairs brain, makes them receptive to redirection and teaching, engaging their upstairs brain. The why. The brain science behind it. The why delves into the neurological underpinnings that make this approach so effective. Upstairs and downstairs brain. The authors remind us that the downstairs brain handles immediate emotions and survival instincts, while the upstairs brain is responsible for complex functions like impulse control, empathy, and moral reasoning. In moments of distress, the downstairs brain takes over, making rational thought impossible. Integration. Siegel's core concept of integration is key here. A well-integrated brain allows different parts to work together harmoniously. Whole brain discipline aims to foster this integration within the child's brain, helping them connect their emotions with their logic, their body sensations with their thoughts. This leads to greater resilience, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. Attachment and neuroplasticity. A secure attachment relationship provides the optimal environment for brain development. When parents connect with their children, they are literally shaping the child's brain through neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt. Positive, empathetic interactions build neural pathways for emotional regulation and social skills. Mindsight. This is the capacity to understand one's own mind and the minds of others. Whole brain discipline explicitly teaches mindsight by helping children label their feelings, understand their thoughts, and consider others' perspectives. The how. Practical application. The how offers concrete strategies and a mindset shift for parents. Remain calm. Parental self-regulation. Parents most model the very self-regulation they want to teach their children. Taking a pause, breathing, or mentally stepping back before reacting allows the parent to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Move from reactivity to receptivity. This applies to both the child and the parent. The goal is to move the child out of a reactive, defensive state into one where they are open to learning. Discipline with empathy. Always approach discipline from a place of understanding and compassion, even when setting firm limits. I know you're sad about leaving the park, and it's time to go. Be a brain architect. Parents have the incredible power to shape their child's brain developing. Every disciplinary interaction is an opportunity to build neural connections that support emotional intelligence, resilience, and positive character traits. Focus on long-term goals. While stopping immediate misbehavior is important, the ultimate aim is to cultivate an integrated, resilient, and compassionate individual. This means looking beyond the immediate conflict to the lessons being taught. Consider the child's developmental stage. What might be appropriate discipline for a toddler is very different from what's effective for a 10-year-old. Tailor your approach to your child's age and individual temperament. Establish clear boundaries and expectations. While connection is vital, so are consistent limits. Children thrive when they know what is expected of them and what the boundaries are. In essence, Chapter 5 encapsulates the holistic nature of no-drama discipline. It's not just a set of techniques, but a complete philosophy of parenting that integrates neuroscience with practical, empathetic strategies. By understanding why children behave the way they do and how to respond in a way that fosters brain integration, parents can transform moments of chaos into profound opportunities for teaching and connection, ultimately nurturing resilient and well-adjusted children.
Chapter 6. Avoiding the Pitfalls. What Not to Do. In Chapter 6, Siegel and Bryson pivot to address common disciplinary mistakes parents often make, not out of malice, but typically due to habit, frustration, or a lack of understanding about brain development. This chapter serves as a crucial guide for parents, helping them identify and avoid counterproductive responses that can inadvertently harm a child's development and the parent-child relationship. Understanding these pitfalls reinforces the value of the no-drama discipline approach. Here are some of the key pitfalls highlighted. Reacting too strongly or harshly, being over the top. When parents respond to misbehavior with yelling, shaming, or excessive punishment, they often trigger a child's fight, flight, or freeze response. This immediately shuts down the child's upstairs brain, making them incapable of learning or processing rational explanations. Instead of teaching, it instills fear, resentment, and a focus on avoiding the parent's anger rather than understanding their actions. Ignoring the underlying feelings, focusing only on behavior. Children's misbehavior often stems from unmet needs, big emotions they don't know how to express, or a lack of specific skills. If parents only address the outward behavior without seeking to understand the why behind it, they miss a crucial opportunity to connect and teach. Punishing a tantruming child without acknowledging their frustration, for example, is far less effective than validating their feelings first. Being inconsistent or permissive. While empathy is key, it should not be confused with permissiveness. Inconsistent boundaries or a lack of clear expectations can leave children feeling insecure and confused about what is acceptable. Children thrive on predictability and clear limits, which provide a sense of safety and help them learn self-control. The authors advocate for firm but kind discipline. Lecturing and excessive talking, too much talk, not enough action or connection. When a child is upset or defensive, long lectures are ineffective. Their emotional brain is dominant, and they simply cannot process complex verbal information. Parents often fall into the trap of over-explaining, which can overwhelm the child and escalate the conflict. A brief, clear explanation after connection is far more powerful. Shaming and humiliation. Words that shame, demean, or humiliate a child are profoundly damaging. They attack a child's self-worth, leading to insecurity, anxiety, and a desire to hide mistakes rather than learn from them. The goal is to teach the child that their behavior was wrong, not that they are bad. Punishing with isolation, abusing timeouts. While a brief structured cool-down time can be useful for helping a child regulate, using isolation as a punitive measure can be counterproductive. When a child is feeling overwhelmed or distressed, isolation removes the very connection they need to co-regulate and feel safe. The authors suggest time-ins or nurturing timeouts, where a parent stays nearby to offer comfort and guidance. Focusing only on consequences, ignoring the cause. While logical consequences are important, they are only one part of effective discipline. If a parent only focuses on the consequence, you broke it, so you lose it, without exploring the cause, teaching new skills, or repairing the relationship, the deeper lesson might be lost. Being a thermostat versus a mirror. A thermostat tries to change the temperature, the child's feelings or behavior, directly. A mirror reflects back what it sees, validates the child's feelings. Being a mirror first allows the child to feel seen and understood, which then makes them more receptive to guidance, the thermostat function. By explicitly identifying these common missteps, Siegel and Bryson empower parents to consciously avoid them, thereby fostering a more positive and effective disciplinary environment. This chapter acts as a crucial do-not list, reinforcing the importance of empathy, connection, and a brain-informed approach to parenting.
Chapter 7. Practical Strategies for Connecting and Redirecting. Chapter 7 is a treasure trove of actionable techniques, providing parents with a practical toolkit to implement the connect and redirect approach in real-life scenarios. The authors move beyond the theoretical and offer concrete strategies for managing various disciplinary challenges. Strategies for Connecting, Part 1 of Connect and Redirect. Communicate comfort and safety. Get on their level. Physically lower yourself to make eye contact if comfortable for the child. Gentle touch, a hand on the shoulder, a hug, or holding their hand can be incredibly soothing. Calm tone of voice. Model the calm you want to see. Your voice is a powerful tool for co-regulation. Listen actively. Give your full attention. Nod, use uh-huh, and reflect back what you hear. Validate feelings. I see you're really sad right now. Or, it sounds like you're angry because... Remember, validation is not endorsement of the behavior. Nonverbal cues. Be mindful of your own facial expressions, body posture, and gestures. A relaxed parent helps a child relax. Name it to tame it. Help your child identify their emotions. You're feeling frustrated because the blocks won't stay up. This process engages the upstairs brain and helps children develop emotional literacy. Connect before correct. Iterate that attempting to reason or correct when a child is emotionally overwhelmed is futile. Prioritize emotional connection to open the door for learning. Strategies for redirecting. Part 2 of Connect and Redirect. Explain, don't just demand. Instead of "stop that," try "we don't hit because it hurts people and we want to keep everyone safe." Help them understand the why. Move it or lose it. For younger children, sometimes physical redirection is necessary. If they're hitting, gently move their hand away and firmly say, "No hitting. We use gentle hands." Then redirect to an appropriate activity. Involve the child in the solution. Ask for ideas, like, "What do you think we can do to fix this?" Or "How can we make this better next time?" This empowers them and fosters problem-solving skills. Give limited, acceptable choices. Would you like to clean up the blocks now or in 2 minutes? Giving them a sense of control. Emphasize repair, not just punishment. Make amends. If a child hurts someone, guide them to apologize sincerely or do something kind for the person. Fix mistakes. If something is broken, involve them in repairing it or helping to clean up. The focus is on accountability and making things right. Teach new skills. Practice appropriate behavior. If a child struggles with sharing, practice taking turns with them outside of a conflict. Teach coping strategies. When you feel angry, you can squeeze a pillow, take deep breaths, or tell me, "I need a break." Role-playing. Act out scenarios to help them practice new responses. A no can be a yes. Turn a prohibition into an affirmation of what is allowed. No jumping on the couch, but you can jump outside on the trampoline. Time in versus time out. Instead of isolating a child who is struggling, offer a time in where they can calm down in a quiet space with a comforting adult nearby. This provides connection and support for self-regulation. If a child needs space, they can have it, but with the understanding that the parent is available when needed. The 4 S's for healthy brain development. Safe. Children need to feel physically and emotionally secure. Seen. They need to feel noticed and understood. Soothed. They need help regulating their emotions. Secure. A sense of knowing their parents are consistently there for them. The authors stress the importance of tailoring these strategies to the child's age, temperament, and the specific situation. The goal is always to build internal resources within the child, self-awareness, empathy, and problem-solving skills. By offering these concrete tools, Chapter 7 empowers parents to move from reacting to responding, fostering deeper connections and more effective learning outcomes. Chapter 8, The Power of Story, Integrating the Left and Right Brain. Chapter 8 delves into a fascinating and powerful aspect of whole brain development, the role of storytelling in integrating the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Dr. Siegel, a pioneer in interpersonal neurobiology, has long highlighted the importance of integration for mental health and well-being. This chapter explains how narratives can be a profound tool in discipline, helping children and parents make sense of challenging experiences. The authors begin by explaining the functions of the 2 brain hemispheres. Left brain. This side is more focused on logic, language, linear thinking, facts, and sequences. It likes order and meaning. Right brain. This side is more attuned to emotions, nonverbal cues, visual spatial information, holistic experiences, and intuition. It processes context and the big picture.
When a child experiences a distressing event, a tantrum, a conflict, a scary moment, or even a simple misbehavior, their right brain often takes over, flooding them with intense emotions and sensory input. Without the left brain's ability to create a coherent narrative, these experiences can remain fragmented, overwhelming, and difficult to process. This can lead to lingering anxiety, unresolved emotions, or repetitive challenging behaviors. The power of story in discipline lies in its ability to bring these two hemispheres together, creating a sense of understanding and coherence. By helping a child recount an upsetting event, parents can facilitate this integration. Here's how. Help them retell the story. After a disciplinary incident, once the child is calm and connected, invite them to talk about what happened. Tell me what happened when your brother took your toy. Encourage them to share their right brain experience, their feelings, what they saw, how their body felt. Fill in the gaps, left brain organization. As the child tells their story, the parent can help them organize it into a coherent narrative. So first you were playing, then your brother grabbed your toy, and you felt really angry. Is that right? This helps the left brain create a sequence and assign meaning. Validate emotions, right brain connection. Continue to acknowledge and validate their feelings throughout the storytelling process. It makes sense that you felt angry when your toy was taken. Process the experience. By narrating the event, the child is actively processing it. They are moving from a chaotic, emotional memory to a more organized, understood experience. This helps to tame the intensity of the right brain emotional response. Develop mindsight. Storytelling naturally cultivates mindsight, the ability to understand one's own internal world and the internal world of others. As they recount their feelings and actions and consider the feelings and actions of others involved, they develop empathy and self-awareness. Teach problem-solving and resilience. Once the story is told and understood, it becomes easier to discuss alternative actions and solutions for the future. Now that we understand what happened, what could we do differently next time if something like that happens? This promotes resilience and gives them a sense of agency. Personal narratives of resilience. The authors suggest creating a family narrative that frames challenges as opportunities for growth. We learn from our mistakes, or we always try our best to make things right. This chapter reveals that every disciplinary moment is an opportunity for neurobiological integration. By acting as narrative partners, parents help their children weave together their experiences, emotions, and logic into a meaningful whole. This not only resolves the immediate conflict, but also builds a stronger, more integrated brain, equipping children with the emotional intelligence and resilience they need for life. The power of story transforms isolated incidents into chapters of growth in a child's unfolding life narrative.
Chapter 9. Connecting and Redirecting in Real Time, the Importance of Timing. Chapter 9 focuses on the critical element of timing in applying no-drama discipline, emphasizing that knowing when to connect and when to redirect is just as important as knowing how. Siegel and Bryson address the common challenge of implementing these strategies in the heat of the moment, when both parent and child might be highly emotional. The core message of this chapter is that timing is everything. Trying to redirect or teach a lesson when a child is in a downstairs brain meltdown is usually futile and can even be counterproductive. Similarly, connecting too late after a child has already shut down or escalated further can also be less effective. Key insights regarding timing. Prioritize connection in the heat of the moment. When a child is upset, angry, or defiant, the immediate priority is to connect with their emotional state.
This means validating feelings, offering comfort, and helping them regulate their emotions before attempting any redirection or lecturing. When your child is drowning in emotion, first throw them a lifeline, connection, then teach them to swim, redirection. Wait for the upstairs brain to come back online. Redirection, logical consequences, and discussions about behavior should primarily happen once the child has calmed down and their upstairs brain, the prefrontal cortex, is more accessible. This might mean a time in or a quiet moment together, allowing both parent and child to regain composure. The sweet spot for teaching. The ideal time for redirection is after connection, when the child feels safe and understood, and before too much time has passed for the incident to lose relevance. This sweet spot allows for effective teaching, where the child is receptive. Parental self-regulation is key to good timing. Parents need to regulate their own emotions first. If a parent is feeling angry, frustrated, or overwhelmed, it's very difficult to connect calmly with a child. Taking a pause, a deep breath, or even a brief break if the child is safe can help the parent shift into a more responsive rather than reactive state. This self-regulation is the foundation for choosing the right timing. Don't postpone everything. While deep discussions are best when calm, immediate safety measures or brief firm limits might be necessary during a meltdown. I won't let you hit me. I'm holding your hand. This is a quick redirection focused on safety, which can then be followed by deeper connection once safe. Reflecting back later. If a situation was too chaotic for effective redirection in the moment, parents can revisit it later when everyone is calm. This is where telling the story, as discussed in Chapter 8, becomes particularly powerful. Remember earlier when you were really upset about the toy? Let's talk about what happened and what we could do differently. Proactive timing. Beyond reactive moments, effective discipline also involves proactive timing. This includes teaching skills before they are needed, role-playing, discussions about sharing, or practicing emotional regulation when things are calm. Setting clear expectations, discussing rules and consequences before an event. Example, before going to a party, talk about polite behavior. Anticipating challenges. If you know your child gets tired and cranky around a certain time, adjust schedules or provide quiet activities to prevent meltdowns. The chapter reinforces that no drama discipline is a dynamic process. It requires parents to be attuned to their child's emotional state, mindful of their own reactions, and strategic about when they intervene with connection and redirection. By mastering the art of timing, parents can transform disciplinary challenges into genuine opportunities for teaching, fostering growth and strengthening the parent-child bond.
Chapter 10. From Chaos to Calm, Putting It All Together. In the concluding chapter, From Chaos to Calm, Putting It All Together, Siegel and Bryson bring all the threads of no-drama discipline into a cohesive framework, encouraging parents to embrace this approach as a holistic way of life rather than just a set of techniques. This chapter reinforces the transformative power of understanding the child's developing brain and responding with empathy and intention. The authors begin by reiterating the core message. Discipline is about teaching, not punishing. The ultimate goal is to nurture children into well-adjusted, resilient, and compassionate individuals who can think for themselves, manage their emotions, and form healthy relationships. This long-term vision guides every disciplinary interaction. Key takeaways and a synthesis of concepts from this chapter include the centrality of connection. The connect and redirect model remains paramount. The message is reinforced. Always connect first. When a child feels seen, heard, and understood, their emotional brain calms, allowing their logical upstairs brain to engage. This connection is the fertile ground upon which effective teaching can occur. Without connection, redirection often falls on deaf ears or breeds resentment. Integration as the ultimate aim. The underlying neuroscientific principle of integration is highlighted as the ultimate aim.
Whole brain discipline helps children integrate their left and right brains, logic and emotion, their upstairs and downstairs brains, impulse control and instinct, and their explicit and implicit memories. An integrated brain is a healthy, flexible, adaptive, and coherent brain, leading to greater emotional intelligence and resilience. Parental self-awareness and self-regulation. The authors underscored that parents cannot effectively practice no-drama discipline if they are not regulating their own emotions. Taking a pause, breathing, and consciously choosing a response over a reaction are crucial. Parents are encouraged to develop their own mind sight, understanding their own triggers and emotional responses to model calm for their children. Embrace the messiness. Parenting is not perfect, and neither is no-drama discipline. There will be times when parents react impulsively, children have meltdowns, and things don't go according to plan. The key is to see these as opportunities for repair and learning for both parent and child. It's about progress, not perfection. Long-term versus short-term outcomes. This approach emphasizes looking beyond immediate compliance to the long-term development of the child. While traditional punishment might stop a behavior quickly, it often misses the chance to teach deeper lessons about empathy, responsibility, and self-control. No-drama discipline builds these foundational skills. The 4 S's as a guiding compass. The principles of helping children feel safe, seen, soothed, and secure serve as a powerful mnemonic for parents. If children consistently experience these S's, they are more likely to thrive and develop integrated brains. Discipline as a relationship builder. Far from being divisive, this approach actually strengthens the parent-child bond. By responding with empathy and teaching, parents build trust and mutual respect, fostering a secure attachment that benefits the child for a lifetime. Hope and empowerment. The book ends on a hopeful note, empowering parents with the knowledge that they can transform their disciplinary interactions from sources of stress and conflict into opportunities for profound growth, connection, and joy. By applying these whole-brain strategies, parents can move from chaos to calm, creating a more harmonious family life and nurturing children who are not just obedient, but truly flourish. In essence, no-drama discipline is a call for a paradigm shift in parenting, away from fear and control and towards understanding, empathy, and teaching. It's about harnessing the power of neuroscience to raise children who are emotionally intelligent, resilient, and connected, laying the groundwork for a lifetime of well-being. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into no-drama discipline. I hope this comprehensive summary has provided you with valuable insights and practical tools to transform your parenting journey. Remember, every interaction with your child is an opportunity to connect, teach, and nurture their developing mind. If you found this summary helpful, please show your support by giving us a big thumbs up, sharing this episode with fellow parents, and hitting that subscribe button so you never miss an episode from BookMint. We're committed to bringing you the best wisdom from the world's most impactful books. Until next time, keep connecting, keep teaching, and keep nurturing those beautiful developing brains. Happy parenting!